What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this POV review by AutoTopNL. My name is Max, and today we are checking out probably the most extreme and extravagant car we've done this year. This is a ROYCE Cullinan, but it has had the SPOVAC overdose treatment. SPOVAC is the Rolls-Royce department of NOVITEC. It's like a subdivision, a sub-brand, and they do the Rolls-Royces. Now, the Cullinan is not really a subtle car to begin with, and this wide body overdose package is absolutely insane. So today I'm going to show you around it, I'm going to show you all the cool stuff on it, and then we'll take it for a drive towards the Autobahn for an Autobahn blast. But first I want to thank MB Nutrition for giving us their car for a couple of hours to drive and film. Really awesome guys. MB Nutrition is one of the fastest growing supplement companies in the Netherlands, and they have these crazy cars. This is one of them. They also have an SVJ Roadster, for instance. They have a Lamborghini Urus, and the face of the company is someone called Mobicep. It basically acts as a promotional vehicle, which I think is very successful because it is so freaking extreme. But yeah, if you want to learn more about MB Nutrition or Mobicep, go check out the links in the description. I'll link their Instas and website and stuff like that. So what do they do at SPOVAC to make this an overdose? I mean, the name is ridiculous. It says it all in the name, right? Overdose. So we've got this completely reworked front bumper. The entire front bumper is from SPOVAC, and it has these massive intake vents, and it's actually a little lower as well than the regular Cullinan bumper. It also reduces front axle lift, apparently. This is all still Rolls-Royce. It's this from this down, you know, all this part is new, and this car is actually white or a super light gray with chrome accents, so it's completely different. Of course, all the cars of MB Nutrition have been wrapped in this champagne gold color, and all the stuff has been wrapped in black as well. Spirit of Ecstasy in black, the grille in black, and these wheels as well. So normally these are just regular forged wheels. These are made by Vossen together with SPOVAC, 24-inch wheels. That is absolutely massive. But the strange thing is, when you're sitting next to it, you're like, oh my god, that is massive. But when you see the car driving around, they don't look that big because of the massive behemoth size of the car. Of course, we've got the Rolls-Royce logos that stay upright at all times, and then behind that we've got the stock Cullinan brakes. Now you can already see the wide body here. It is 10 centimeters wider than a Cullinan at the front and 12 centimeters at the rear. You can see that is quite a bit. And then we've got all blacked out badges around the car, this side part here as well, the mirrors, the window surrounds. Then we've got Mobicep, or Mobicep in English, his stuff, Instagram and Snapchat, go check him out. Massive wide body here. So it's a shame it's wrapped. I mean, I would have loved to see how it's been finished underneath here with the paint and stuff, because you have to match Rolls-Royce level of paint. So I can imagine that's quite difficult to do. So we've got this little spoiler extender from SPOVAC as well. The diffuser is from them as well, I think. And then we've got this exhaust. An exhaust on a Rolls-Royce, yes. I don't think I've ever seen that, but it does sound a little deeper, a little fruitier than a stock Cullinan. So let's check out the engine. The 6.75, 6.75 liter V12 bi-turbo, stock 570 horsepower, 850 newton meters of torque. This SPOVAC tune with the exhaust and everything, it's supposed to have 685 horsepower and 1010 newton meters of torque. So you get a nice little power upgrade as well. But this engine is just marvelous. It is silky, silky smooth. It is so torquey, and I mean, it's best when you're just cruising along and you have to overtake someone. You just give it a little throttle, and this 2.7 ton car, 2700 kilo car, it does move with this amount of power and with this V12, of course. All right, so you can see actually that it's white here. Yeah, so this is the color it used to be. All right, let's take a look inside. Are we going to check the rear seats? Of course we are. So we've got the suicide doors that hinge backwards, and let's take a look inside, because yes, it is very spacious. This must be one of the nicest cars to travel in or with. The leather is super soft. It's very, very spacious in here, and you sit just behind this pillar here, which gives you a very nice, like, limousine vibe. Of course, we've got the button here to close the door. You don't want to do that yourself. Must be nice to be a Rolls-Royce owner. And then we've got a button there to open the little picnic table, and then one there for the screen, which I have to say the resolution is not that great. This is previous generation BMW stuff, so yeah, it's everything you need is in here, like your heated armrest, stuff like that is in here. But yeah, you can go absolutely crazy with the interior of a Cullinan, of course. You can go for a glass divider behind you. You can have more adjustable seats. You can have like a fridge in here, of course. So yeah, you can go as crazy as you like. And then at SPOVEC, you can go even crazier. So you can have your car customized at SPOVEC as well, to match the craziness of the outside. So in here, ooh, look at that. Super nice, thick carpets. And then we have another button right there to close the front, which is nice. Little spirit of ecstasy there. Really beautiful. Now, the materials in here are either very, very good. So like this leather and the stitching, it's all very beautiful, very soft. The door handles are metal. These little extenders are metal. They look beautiful. This is covered in metal as well. But then there are some parts that are a little plasticky as well, which is not great in a car that costs this much. But overall, I have to say I really, really like this interior. I love those analog dials. Well, they're digital, but they have an analog look. We've got all the command stuff down here, so your wheel to control the iDrive, or I don't know what Rolls-Royce calls that. And then we've got two buttons you don't get in a Phantom, the off-road button right here and the hill descent control right there. I love that it's just one button, you know, you can't adjust 10 things for your off-road stuff. No, it's just you want to go off-road, hit that button and the car fixes everything for you. You can choose traction on or off, and that's it. And of course we've got the spirit of ecstasy in the menu right here, so we can actually get that in there or extend it like that. Of course we want it extended, but it's really cool to sit here with that massive front end, that massive bonnet in front of you. Really cool. Okay, so let's start it up. And well, it's so well insulated that you don't really hear anything, but if I give it a couple of revs, you can hear that it actually has don't want to do that myself. You can hear that it actually has a proper sound. So that is pretty cool. I mean, this car is so well insulated that you hardly hear it in here, but it is there. All right, so let's take this massive thing for a drive. This car actually came from the US. You can see that because we have this. It's really like a US car. I don't think we get that in Europe. Okay, so you can actually, well, I could feel the air suspension lowering. The SPOVEC overdose actually is 40 millimeters lower than a regular Cullinan. So they've set that up to match the 24-inch wheels with street tires. So this is really not meant to go off-road. I mean, I don't know how many people will actually take their regular Cullinan off-road, but okay, so driving it, it is still one of the most comfortable cars I've ever driven. It is so floaty and the steering is so light and indirect. It's like you're driving a boat. And I really, really love it. I think there's just something about driving a Rolls-Royce. It really doesn't feel like anything else. Even Bentleys nowadays feel more like direct, more like a Porsche basically. And a Rolls-Royce still has that super, super soft, floaty suspension that just soaks up everything. The only thing that brings it down a little bit is the fact that you have those 24-inch wheels with those skinny tires. You do feel those sometimes, but I think if you're just going for the regular 21-inch, which you get on a Cullinan, or the 22s on a black badge, I think, you know, you wouldn't feel anything, because there's like 150 kilos of sound deadening in this car. The regular tires this car comes on has foam in there to soak up sound and irregularities. So this SPOFAC is lower and has a sound, so why don't we engage low mode, which is right there. And this is like the sport mode for Rolls-Royces. It just changes the throttle mapping a little bit and the gearbox and stuff like that. Okay, sound check. Woo. There's a lot of blowing through the exhaust. Oh, the way the car just moves up and down when you hit the throttle and the brake is so cool. So it's still really not meant to do that, I think. I don't think the car is too happy when you absolutely nail it. I think, you know, driving it at 75%, just use that torque, just over 1,000 Newton meters, to waft along. And it actually goes. I'm actually quite impressed by the way it still moves. And you don't really feel the speed, of course, because it's so quiet and comfortable. All right, so here we go at the Autobahn. Let's find out what it feels like. So we've got the power reserve gauge on the left there. As you can see, we don't have a rev counter because who cares? All right, full throttle. Here we go. So you can definitely hear more in here. I mean, a stock Cullinan is much more quiet. And this is full power. The car is still limited at 250 kilometers an hour, even though it did get a power upgrade because of the weight of the car. SPOFAC says, well, I can imagine that. The 0 to 100 time went from 5.2 seconds to 4.9. And of course we also measured the 100 to 200 kilometer an hour time, which it did in around 14 seconds, which is basically the same as our supercharged Range Rover, our previous car. I mean, just think of the aerodynamic drag this car has and all the stuff it has to push through the air. So this really is like the Rolls-Royce for people who think that Rolls-Royce is still not crazy enough. The average age of a Rolls-Royce buyer went from 53 to 39 in recent years, which is insane. And I think that SPOFAC and NOVITEC thought, well, we would like to have a piece of that and, you know, add something to the offering. Rolls-Royce did this with the black badge label. This was invented basically to address a younger buyer, because the people at Rolls-Royce saw that younger buyers were customizing their Rolls-Royces, and Rolls-Royce thought, well, we can do that as well. And so they came with black badge, a little bit more power and a lot of black chrome around the car to give it a bit of a younger, meaner look. Now, this obviously takes that to the next level, but you can also take your black badge to Spofec and they will do the same to it, and you will end up with a 707 horsepower Cullinan, which is insane. It's quite windy out. I don't think you guys will hear much, but man, it is a really impressive car, this. It is so comfy and so filtered. And of course, as I said, this car is basically a marketing vehicle for MB Nutrition. And I have to say, I mean, I get it. I can imagine that there are very few people on the roads that don't look at this car when it's going by, you know, when it's driving by. You have to look at it. It is so ridiculously extravagant, and I really like it for that. So thanks to MB Nutrition for taking their car to us, to our spot. Really appreciate it. If you want to learn more about MB Nutrition, go check out the links in the description or check them out on Instagram. To you guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. You can subscribe by clicking the big button in the middle. You can also check out this video on the right or go check out this playlist on the left. See you at the next one. Bye.